Hopefully all of them.
You can't calculate how many dingoes.
You know, there is a creature that is like a mix between a wallaby and a kangaroo, and you'll never guess what it's called.
A wallaroo.
Yeah.
God. That man earns a prize.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. Welcome back to your wallaroos.
Kangleby.
I don't even know what to say about that. We're going to be looking at Summer Rental, 1985. So get prepared for that.
Yeah.
An overworked air traffic controller takes his family on a beach vacation, but is soon beset by a series of mishaps.
Oh.
I guess that's overall true. And yeah, welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. Our friend Jeremy is in Australia, as we've been writing. He's in the bush, but still texting us from the side. So how are you doing, Jeremy? We hope you are having fun. We are Rabbit Troop Sucks. We're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And as always, I am your host, Paul. And next to me is co-host Mike.
Oh, hi.
And there's La-Mar.
Hey.
There's the ghost of Jeremy.
Wallaroo.
Dingoes. And Collin.
Hey.
And yeah, we're going to be looking at Summer Rental. Everyone in this room, outside of Collin, has seen this movie. That sounds almost accusatory. I didn't mean to say. How dare you for not seeing this film? But yeah, I know. I say that just kind of immediately because I've watched this film with Mike and La-Mar on numerous occasions throughout the years. This is one of my dad's favorite films. Rico's been on the show before. In fact, Mike has watched this with Rico and me. So this is pretty much yearly tradition. We're in the summer, and sadly, summer is almost over. Where did it go?
I don't know.
But we're gonna get into the fall, which is my favorite. Season.
All that time spent training for the regatta, it just flew by.
You've got to get to the regatta. Sometimes you eat a hot dog and go to the regatta.
That's don't pry into my personal life.
You gotta get it together.
That's correct. That's so correct. This movie has so many famous people. We have Carl Reiner, who is the director, who is the father of Rob Reiner. He wrote this, or no, he directed this, and we do have a writer attached to this. Carl Reiner did direct The Jerk, because that's an amazing film, and we should probably note that amongst other films. He's also an actor. He was in Ocean's 11 films. He's Saul. He's like the older man. I love this guy. John Candy, well, I should also go back, sorry. Carl Reiner passed away in, I think, 2020 at 98 years old. John Candy, I noted, last time we saw John Candy, Volunteers. Collin, you were here for that. Also, 1985, and I'm going to give you listeners a side trivia quest, that there's another movie John Candy did in 1985 that eventually we'll end up doing, but he apparently was in 3 movies. But yeah, we get that. Richard, I believe it's Richard Crenna. He is Al Pellet. He also has passed away. He played Troutman in all of the Rambo, or at least the original Rambo films. He's like the colonel or the captain or whatever his designation was. Another dead cast member, Rip Torn. He plays Scully. I love Scully in this movie. He is in Men in Black. Collin, I was asking Collin, like, have you seen him in other films? He's like, yeah, Dodgeball. I was like, oh my God, how did I not remember Dodgeball and all this? He is the first cousin to Sissy Spacek. I saw that on some trivia. I did not know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought that was good. A movie I would like to do with Rip Torn. I forgot he was actually in it. La-Mar introduced this movie to me ages ago from '91. Defending Your Life.
Oh man, I love that movie.
Yeah,
so
weird. Such a great film. So yeah, we should definitely put that on a list at some point in time. We get other people. Karen Austin plays Sandy Chester. She was in Columbo and some other stuff. I don't really recognize her for much, but she plays
the mother.
She's the wife, the mom. Carrie Green, come on, shout out Goonie, sort of. Goonie by designation. Technically, she does not live at the Goondocks, but she is brought in by the Goonies. Joey Lawrence. We'll talk about Richard Hurd later, which is crazy. We also get John Larroquette. So yeah, a lot of famous people, a lot of notable people. We did it.
Yeah, for 85, a pretty stacked cast. But I guess back then, it wasn't really that stacked.
That was
John
everybody.
Larroquette was just kind of getting around. But yeah, they got a good group there.
I like that yours is like John Larroquette is his kidding around.
I mean, he's
Someone's like, you want some money? He's like, yes.
there's a
money,
there's a backstory that you were telling us about his off air there about it, his involvement with this movie, what his character was supposed to be. I have a feeling that he was supposed to have like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, there was clearly moments cut out. Like, I think that's like pretty known that he was had a bigger role in this film and was cut out. Apparently, there was a book about John Candy, and that was actually mentioned in it. But yeah, I mean, I thought his role was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a bit role, and I don't know what John Larroquette was doing in '85. I know Night Court was like his claim to fame, and clearly he's been in other things later. I even noted a very memorable episode about House. He was great in it. But yeah, I always kind of just figured like he was just in it. But then reading like, oh, he had an extended role, it also kind of makes sense, I guess. It makes sense that someone pitched it. I'm glad someone cut it.
Yep.
Yeah, that what got cut didn't need to be there. It was just weird seeing such a big name actor in a role that was kind of inconsequential.
Would you say what in the cut?
I would never. Paula would never say that.
Oh, in the cut.
In the
Yeah. So this movie starts and it begins.
it does. This movie does have a
This
beginning.
movie has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, John Candy is at home with his wife and 3 children. 3? Yeah.
Yeah, he has 3. He has a young daughter, and then he has Lori, and then we have Joey Lawrence, Bobby, and then we have Carrie Green.
Yeah.
What's Carrie Green's character?
Jennifer, I think.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah.
It's always weird for me seeing, like, because John Candy was what, mid-30s when this movie came out, and I'm assuming he's meant to be about that age in the movie.
Well, the trivia I read is his wife is only 12 years older than Carrie Green.
Okay. Interesting.
So she was cast like a younger wife.
Or John Candy was a dirty bird when he was in high school.
I don't know what to say.
Okay. It's weird for me watching these, like, especially 80s movies with, like, a family in their 30s. Like, I mean, I am considerably older than that. And, like, I identify as being younger than John Candy in this movie.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before, and I know there's memes that go around like 80s, 30s. Man, like Cliff in Cheers was in his mid-30s. Like, what happened? What were people
The 80s were a tough time. It was all margarine and Tang.
Did people survive a radioactive fallout? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, think about how they got there. I think the 70s was
Yeah.
more.
The 70s were hard.
Yeah, that was a harder time. That brought you to the hard 80s.
You got to claw your way out of that? You got to roller disco your way out of that?
The ones who survived end up being old 80s.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, you know, he's a mid-30s guy with his apparently wife who gave birth to a child at the age of 12 or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
And he's doing the classic, like, the wife made every breakfast food possible, but he's just going to have coffee, which he's also not allowed to have.
I'm going to give a shout out to my wife who does not make me breakfast like that. Also, I've talked to all of you guys before. I would vomit everywhere if I was eating breakfast.
Yeah,
like
Paul
that.
doesn't like enjoying the morning.
I want to. We've talked about this even before on this podcast. I want to eat food that's tasty and delicious in the morning. But, I mean, Mike, like, there was one point in time you're like, oh, man, I'm drinking, like, cups of orange juice and ate some bacon. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I wish I did not have such a sensitive stomach, especially in the morning. But, like, if I ate something that was, like, filled with grease and drank something that was, like, acid-based, I would die. Like,
yeah.
I would just curl up and die.
Well, the thing is, I mean, not anymore because I'm older, but when I was younger, I did have a pretty high metabolism, and I woke up, like, just famished every morning. Also, I was a huge alcoholic, so I needed something to soak that up with. That's where the grease comes in.
It's called the soakins.
Yeah, I gotta have them soakins.
You know, should we talk about the Colorado How Do You Do? The ranch water.
The ranch water, yeah.
We tried to assemble a drink for this evening. Just because it's very rare that all of us have the next day off, and it doesn't seem like a lot of obligations. And I normally don't drink a ton, but I had some of this drink. Mike was calling it ranch water. Do you want to talk about ranch water?
Yeah, it's just
I call it the Colorado How Do You Do?
the Colorado. Yeah, it's tequila and Topo Chico with lime.
Yeah.
I don't know who coined it. Topo Chico might have done it.
It's good marketing or
It
bad
is.
marketing. It sounds so gross.
Yeah.
It's a How Do You Do?
This is actually Highlands Ranch water.
Nice. I told Mike we need to go into a business for this.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a market.
But John Candy, yeah, tell us, Mike. Jack Chester, family man.
Yeah, he's
Eating
a
some
family man.
eggs.
Eating some eggs.
Joey Lawrence,
Whoa,
Cary Green.
Whoa. Yeah, he takes his coffee. He goes to the car. His wife is like, "Hey, I'll fucking kill you if you leave," and makes him swap his coffee out for tea because he's too stressed out. He's too stressed out.
I love tea. If anyone knows me, I love tea.
I can't drink tea. It makes my tummy hurt.
All teas, like
Yeah.
green, every single kind of tea.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that is.
I mean, I also don't really like it.
Yeah.
But when I like, sometimes a nice glass of iced tea is kind of refreshing, but like
Yeah.
it always makes my stomach.
But you could drink coffee, no problem.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, that's just the worst.
Oh, his stomach's already lined with the deliciousness of decades of coffee, I'm guessing, right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, I guess it's a thing. Like, there's something in tea that doesn't agree with everybody. I mean, like if I have too much really acidic coffee, I'll get heartburn or whatever. But like tea without fail, like will fuck my stomach up.
Is there one that is worse for you?
Like one kind of tea.
Yeah.
I don't know fucking tea. What? Just tea.
That's
Comes in a
terrible.
bag.
Oh man, I love tea.
Yeah, everyone loves tea. It seems like it's not for me.
Mike, you've known me for ages. Like, you know, like this isn't like my gimmick. I'm like,
No, I know.
I
like,
love tea.
No, a lot of people like tea. I'm not dissing tea. I just, it's not really for me.
It's Ted Lasso. Like, I always thought tea would just taste like hot brown water, and
it does.
I
That's
wasn't
correct.
wrong.
Yeah. Ted Lasso is correct on the tea situation.
Did you catch the dashboard?
Oh,
base
dashboard
for the
cup
mug?
holder?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love the whole dashboard in general.
That was strong. Yeah.
And with the compass next to it.
Yeah, he had
so-
a lot of accessories.
Yeah, Jack Chester is given a lunch or a breakfast to go.
Yeah.
It's-
2 hard-boiled eggs.
maybe question mark.
And hard-boiled eggs.
Also, he's in Atlanta, and we see him on the highway. And I saw in some of the trivia that is pretty much the also a highway opening scene to The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So there you go. If you see this, you'd never have to watch that piece of shit show of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Georgia highways.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a diss to Georgia.
No,
A diss to the
Georgia
show.
seems hot and amazing. The Walking Dead is a terrible show.
Some like it hot.
Yeah, I do. That's a lie. I kind of don't.
Mike doesn't like it.
It's
Mike's not podcasting from Georgia.
been hot. It's been hot lately.
Mike, you should go on business. Does any business ever bring you to anyone in your company to Georgia?
I'm going to Atlanta next month.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Well, you could simul podcast. We could have like
Okay.
a Walking Dead.
Yeah, we'll do.
Jack Chester.
I'll
Chester.
phone in from Atlanta. I'll tell you how hot and amazing it is.
Hot and muggy.
Hot and muggy.
How hot and bothered you are.
Yeah, how hot and bothered I am. I'm going to try to find Luda. That's the only reason I want to go.
Nice.
I assume he's there, like at the airport.
Just constantly there.
But he wasn't. He's not. Luda isn't in this movie.
Could be.
Maybe, well, he might have been. Maybe he was at the regatta.
Who wasn't at the Dorado?
There's no way of knowing. So he's eating his hard boiled egg. Hard boiled eggs are, for me, the grossest food product that you could possibly have.
Well, luckily, Mike, not all of them are hard boiled.
That's true. Yeah. The second one, as he cracks it on his dash, is just a raw egg. It's my fault. I should have specified because he asked for a second egg and he didn't specify. And Joey Lawrence, he's not a great cook.
No.
No.
What he should have asked for, Mike, is big beef.
Yeah, he should have. He in his heart he wanted the big beef because it goes better with the coffee. But no, he's too high strung.
Yeah.
And this doesn't play well for his job. He's an air traffic controller.
I kind of like the backdrop of this story. It kind of seems nice. I know
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but so he's an air traffic controller, and he's kind of freaking out. I mean, you see this old school, like 1985 green digital screen. He's telling certain aircrafts, like, you need to move blank and blank degrees. And they're like, there's another aircraft. What are you trying to do?
Oh, no, ignore.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Cool.
It's fine. It's fine.
Then at another point in time, he thinks he loses an aircraft, but there's a fly on his screen. And his boss walks over. He's like, we need to have a talk. And basically what he says is, like, listen, you're burnt out, dude. And he says this directly. He goes, I'm saying this as a friend. You need to take a break. And he doesn't say those words because Jack is highlighting, like, they made me do it, because you almost see like a simultaneous cut to his wife. He's like, I can't believe they made me do this. They gave him a mandatory 5 weeks of rest and vacation.
You think this is paid?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Like,
I would assume also, but it's not specified.
yeah, like, I mean, I just feel his boss approaches this very, like, this is what you want in a boss. I know this sounds like weird, but I just feel like we read a lot of people are like leaving their jobs now. And like, this is like a time in our lives where people are like, I'm just leaving careers and I need to figure out what's better for me. You get like a sincere boss who's like, dude, I've watched this. You're totally burnt out. You're taking a break, and that's all there is to it. Like, you're good. I'm not saying anything bad. And, you know, it's later kind of highlighted that this is like the first vacation he's taken since his honeymoon, which is like, I'm guessing, at least 15, maybe 10 years ago.
I mean, presumably, however old his eldest daughter is,
Right.
it's that long.
It's that mystery.
He had been doing the air traffic thing for 13 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit.
that's a long fucking time.
But he's complaining about it like it's a bummer. If my boss was like, Mike, you have 5 weeks, no questions asked, here's money, I wouldn't be like, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Why? How dare you, sir?
Yeah, I was
I'd
talking
be like, fucking K-bye.
I was talking about through the whole movie. I'm sure anyone listening to this could definitely relate. Like, can you relate fantasy-wise, I should say. Can you just imagine? So he has 5 weeks off. So I'm guessing like half a week off. You're just at home.
Yeah,
you go on a
I think
vacation.
he rented the place for 4 weeks.
Yeah. So then you come home, you have another half a week off or something like that. But the actual vacation itself is 4 weeks. So okay. So for 4 weeks, like I know like he earned this, he worked the job, but you don't have to worry about rent. Your job is like you go to the beach, you need to find lunch. Mm-hmm. The end. Yeah. I just don't know what that life is. I want to live that life. That seems dope as hell.
Yeah, it seems great. But he's not looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's craziness.
Yeah.
Colin
He comes
highlighted
around.
that he would be a little anxious about this, and I understand that too. I mean, I don't think Colin took it as like I would be Jack Chester. He's freaking out because he's like, I only work and that's all I do. Yeah. Colin highlighted like leaving your house for a month is, you know, anxiety inducing, which I agree.
So many things can go wrong in a house, and if no one's there to check it out, then it probably will.
And Colin, you have animals too, so like throw that in the mix. I know they take their dog, but
Yeah, but if we're gone, we just kind of open the doors and let them go free.
Yeah.
Hope they come back when we get
Into
back.
the woods.
Yeah.
Colin lives in Aspen. Commutes every day.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could leave my house for a month. Hopefully, in that time, it burns down. I can get
Collect
some
that
insurance
insurance
money and buy a better house. That's my hope.
Rapid Sucks has been brought to you by Allstate.
Yeah. Yeah, I better get better insurance if I'm going to do this.
Who's the guy from 30 Rock who's like the disaster? What insurance company is that?
It's Allstate, isn't it?
It might be Allstate, yeah. I guess we're been brought to you by Allstate.
Dean Winters.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
The guy with like, he has like 2 fingers or something.
Yeah.
Because he got like some kind of fucked up disease.
Well,
Anyway.
well, off to the beach they go. They're going to Florida.
Yeah, they're going to Florida for 4 weeks. Jack has loaded up every belonging that he has into a U-Haul for some reason.
I mean, I guess
Going to Florida.
you said that, Mike. Like when we were watching this, I guess I understand part of a U-Haul. Like, listen, I don't have any.
What are you putting in that U-Haul?
There's 5 of them.
But that's the thing. There's and a dog. So there's
What,
three.
is he bringing furniture?
And they're just...
I just-
they're driving a Buick
That's the thing,
with a
like,
small trunk.
Man, I guess. Like,
Yeah, no, Mike, I agree with you. Like, do you need all this? But I'm almost like, I also don't know. Like, I've never gone anywhere for a month. I don't have 3 kids. I don't have a dog. Someone's like, like maybe, like, this seems not awesome.
again,
but-
they're going to a furnished. Like, I own 4 pairs of pants. Like, how much stuff could you possibly bring? I mean, a
Sure.
U-Haul seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
But it was like that attached U-Haul. So if anyone's listening, like
It's like a
so-
trailer, you
yeah,
know?
so they're in a Buick with like a trailer U-Haul. I mean, I just don't know how it was done in 1985.
Well, like that with a U-Haul, I guess.
I guess
That and they were going to the beach and they brought up a whole bunch of crap with them, I guess.
Yeah, some inflaty.
Yeah.
cool
maybe they
noodles
wanted
and
room
whatever.
for souvenirs.
Yeah, the U-Haul
yeah.
was empty. That was all just to bring stuff back. They were renting the U-Haul the entire time.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're going to Florida. What was the town called?
It was Citrus Cove.
Yeah,
Nice.
Cove.
Yeah.
Cove?
I almost said Grove.
Grove?
but I think it's Cove.
It is
yeah.
Cove.
It could be both.
It's not.
Citruses don't grow in coves, bro.
You don't know how high I can fly.
They get there, they find the house, super nice house.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were
God.
driving through the
Beautiful
nice
house.
Yeah,
place.
that's what started my real talk with,
Yeah.
with these gentlemen in this room with me. I was like, "You're staying here. This place is plush. You're at like almost a private beach. Like, yeah, maybe some people are like, I don't know, 50 feet, maybe sometimes away, but you have your own beach location. The view is gorgeous. Like the bedroom they're staying in, like mom and dad, Jack and Sandy, they have like this outlook just to like this perfect like sunset and the ocean. Like, dude, yeah. So that's what I'm noting. Like, just 4 weeks of this, like every day your only mission is you gotta get a sandwich. You might make some dinner.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All you got to do is enjoy your day.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Well, and they do. The first day is very enjoyable. They get unpacked. They go to the beach. John gets a nice little sunburn.
Oh yeah. He meets the neighbors.
He meets the
Who are
neighbors. They seem
snooty
Yeah,
AF.
they don't want to deal with him.
No.
They also might have been alarmed because there was a strange person in this house. That's a little foreshadowing for you kids.
Yeah, but also those people are just
They seem
D-bags.
like dicks.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, hey, like I'm listening to my like daughter's Walkman, like just trying to turn it off. Like he's kind of like humble about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And the woman's like, enjoying lunch. Like, all right, like, well, why don't you take it down
Thanks,
a
you
notch?
old bag.
Right? Like it's like noon. Like calm down. Just be like, like worst case scenario, let that roll off of you. Like, it's having lunch.
She was actually just really hungover.
Yeah, and they were listening to. He was listening to Axel F.
And to be fair, the dog just barked him out for like 5
Mario
or 10
theme?
minutes.
I thought that was a different. Was that the same neighbor?
Oh, you're right. They were
I think it
different
was
neighbors.
different neighbors.
Wait, what?
Man,
When
when
the
they first
dog-
rolled up, the dog was just barking
Oh,
at
it's
the old
okay.
couple that was
He's just
there
barking.
for like
yeah.
10 minutes until he dragged
Oh,
him
those are
away.
different neighbors.
He
Yeah.
barks when he likes you.
So already they have a reputation of being strange neighbors that, I don't know, they're kind of loud when they came in.
What was the last movie we watched with Ernie Hudson? It wasn't.
No Escape,
No,
was it?
there was a movie after it.
Like for Rabbit
The
Troop
Crow?
Sucks or...
Oh, was it?
Motherfucking Crow.
Oh shit! After all these years, Mike, all these months, how can I remember Mike's view on The Crow? I said in that episode, I was like, you know, what was really offensive for me when people were mean to Ernie Hudson, and it was The Crow. I was like, the guy's like, I was investigating a job and I was just hanging out. And the guy's like, you're a son of a bitch.
you,
And I'm
Ernie
going to demote the hell out of you. That's how I felt about John Candy in this movie. Like in the neighbor scenes, he's like, sorry, man, my kids are crazy. Just a a radio headphone situation. I'm your neighbor. And these people are like, I'm eating toast. Go to hell, you old bag. Yeah, like I'm more offended that people were mean to John Candy, just like I was offended that people are mean to Ernie Hudson. Like, guy was just minding his own business.
Yeah.
Come on, let it go.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I get it. It's I think they kind of established pretty quickly that there is a townie mentality. During the summer, all of the renters come in and they're loud and Walmart people.
Yeah.
And if you're there all year round, you have nice peace and quiet, and all these people move in, you don't want any part of that.
But do you think those people there were like
I think all of the natives have that mentality.
Yeah, I was almost said forever livers, but natives, that's fine too. That's probably more appropriate. I got the feeling like that was a summer home too, because the people that eventually show up. I know Mike already noted this. I don't think they permanently live there.
They weren't there then, so yeah.
Right. Like I think this is their side piece, beach side piece. Mike,
Yeah.
note that down.
Beachside piece. Okay. Yeah. You know, my take on it is, I mean, I grew up in an area that was kind of similar to this, like a lot of tourist traffic. You have the townies that live there. Then you have the rich people that live there seasonally, but think they have ownership of it.
That was them.
That was them. And then you have the quote unquote renters who don't own anything and are loud. But as someone who lived in an area like that, I loved when the tourists show up because there are more people and like there's more stuff to do.
Were you looking for a beach side piece, i.e., stuff to do?
Obviously, yeah. When I said there are more people and things to do, I meant women.
There you go.
Mike's old school pickup. I'm sorry, Pellet and Mike's old school pickup line was, "Let me show you the Jack Chester."
That's what I don't know how he knows that. He know that, but yeah, that's accurate. A lot of mileage out of that line. All the ladies wanted to see the Jack Chester.
All I could say to that is a firm gross.
Wow.
Firm and gross is 2 words to describe that situation. For sure.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they get there.
Okay, they get there. Yeah.
So one of my favorite lines are courses of dialogue throughout this film is. So they get to this really plush place. It is super nice. As I said, like the view is amazing. They have their own almost private beach. It's great. And something is said where Sandy, the mom, the mother, the wife, is like, oh, okay, well, like, do you pack your swimsuit? And he's like, I don't like the way I look in a bathing suit. And I love the banter between the mom and the dad, i.e. John Candy and Sandy in this movie. And she's like, oh, I like the way you look in a swimsuit. And I just like this like weird dialogue. He's like, my mom was right. You are twisted. Like that's like fun rapport. And I feel like that was probably something said like between one of the writers and like his significant other. Like you can't just like write that. Like that's kind of like some fun back and forth. Anyone who's been in a long-term relationship is going to have that kind of like rapport with their significant other.
Yeah.
That's kind of like demonstrated throughout the film. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun, but she's like, no, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it's
She's
more.
gonna have fun.
You can tell that they have a nice, solid marriage with the rapport like that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, their relationship is pretty solid.
This wasn't just a slap together couple.
No.
Like there's thought and acting put together here.
A slupple?
A slupple. They doubled down on that slupple.
Yeah. No, you don't want to see an 80s slupple.
Ooh, no.
Wow.
You definitely don't want to bring that to the yacht house.
No.
Which is where they're going.
The regattas.
They are. Is it called the Yacht House, the restaurant?
The regattas. No, I don't know.
It is the yacht house.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they go out to dinner.
They're hungry.
They're hungry.
You got to bring the family out to food.
They want lobster.
And I was about to say, Jack Chester is like, hey, it's vacation day 1. Let's get some lobster. Mm-hmm. Do any of you guys have like horrific vacation experiences with your family?
My family never took vacation, so no.
Took some here and there.
I wouldn't say it's too horrific, but I had a bad experience when I was younger. We have family down in Mississippi, so we used to drive down there. And that Mississippi, just alone, right there, just during the summer. Oh God! But one year I was just messing around, playing with some friends down there, and honestly, I just stepped on a nail.
Oh my God!
I was wearing sandals. The nail went right through my foot.
Nice.
Wow. Mom rushed me, got tetanus shots, all that. It was crazy.
I
spent I think it was 2 weeks. I spent the rest of the time just limping around.
I'm horrified and sorry.
That was bad. I think I was 10 or 11.
Did you have to wear an inflatable splint?
No, not like Mr. Candy in this movie, but it was pretty nuts.
Well, be warned, not as bad as that, La-Mar. In this house, we are in a over 100-year-old house, and months ago, I was walking around in our more dining room area, and I did not have socks on, and straight up, there must have been an upward splinter, and right in the middle of my foot, I just stepped on it. I'm going to tell you this in a weird metaphysical way. Ooh. In that moment, I detached my body and soul for like 1 minute of time.
Wow.
It was like in my foot, and I was like, nope. And I hobbled my way to the bathroom and was able to like take it out, put on like hydrogen peroxide, bandage it up, and then embrace the pain. But for like 1 minute, like the cosmic universe was like, you have 60 seconds, go. And I was like, accepted. Yeah, that hurt like hell. That was not a fun time.
Utilize all that time of impervious pain and solve that
It was
issue.
like mental blackout for a second. It was like, just do it. It's got to go. I'm like, this needs to get out of me. There's a blood trail, and I just need to make this not happen.
You need to get this out of me.
Just
The
like
blood
Summer
trail.
Rental.
That's pretty dark.
It's like you have a blood trail and you take a vacation and you go to the regatta.
Yeah.
The regattas.
The regattas.
I put that on a nice, I don't don't know, like baguette.
A regatta on a baguette.
It's an Italian specialty.
What store would you get that at if you're in a mall?
Italian. You go to Italian and get that.
I love Italian.
Call back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to Chopping Mall where my favorite food is Italian. Meatball.
You have to whisper it though for
I would like big beef meatball.
big beef.
Let's talk lobster.
Lobster, yeah, they're waiting in line. This is apparently the only good restaurant in town. Everyone's here.
Yeah, there's some lines out the block.
Well, yeah. Oh man, they're outside. They're holding themselves over on toothpicks and sugar packets or mints or whatever the fuck he had. But
I feel I've been in this situation with my family. I would hate to take my daughter to this situation. You're waiting in line for what seems like I would assume, like probably honestly, this is a dinner. This is probably 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and they've been waiting in line for 2 hours.
Oh my god.
This has to be the greatest lobster in the universe.
They also have kids.
Yeah.
So regardless of what's happening, like this has got to be a nightmare for you.
And they were hungry when they left.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah.
And Jack, he really wants this lobster. I don't even think it's a hunger issue. I
But
think he just.
It's like a point of pride. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I want to treat my family. Like, this is going to be like the one day. Like, day one, we're at this place.
The house is nicer than they expected.
Yeah.
Everything's going well. He's a little sunburnt, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You gotta set the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice. It fails.
It does fail. They finally get inside. They're next
After 2 hours.
after 2 hours.
I think Muscusi, you next.
Yeah. And who rolls in? Mr. Pele?
Al Pellet?
Al Pellet? Yeah. Who's a big,
Rambo?
Yeah, he's Rambo's buddy. Real.
But he's won the regatta for 7 years in a row.
Yeah,
he's a trophy owner, swinging daddy.
Yeah, he's swinging all right.
All these does.
What?
What?
Okay. He comes in and he weasels his way right up to the maitre d' and is like,
Well, no. He
yeah,
doesn't
but-
like super weasel. Like, admittedly, it is known he's like, he has reservations. And John Candy is like, whoa, I thought you don't have reservations. He's like,
Mr. Pele.
yeah, he's
Okay,
like,
you're
the
right.
only people or person we take reservations from. Like, and honestly, I don't think the restaurant's really in the wrong. Like, this is a local guy. I assume this guy comes, I'm guessing like once a week.
Right.
And he's like known to win these boat races. And the restaurant does not take reservations outside of one local celebrity. Which, on that note, is I don't think it's
That's
a big
fair.
problem.
I read it as he didn't have a reservation. He just took the next table and the
I'm
maitre d'
sure.
was cool with it.
I read it that way. as well.
I also agree with that.
Yeah. And the maitre d' was just making that up because he's a little puss bag.
Yeah, I just think he's a VIP client that
Yeah.
they just waved in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I mean, to your point, like, that sucks, but, you know.
By the way, the point was conveyed when Jack and his family couldn't get this table. Mm-hmm. Because
I mean, what if I ran a restaurant and like one of you guys was my brother? Right. Like, oh man, we have a line out the door. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my god, like someone skipped Advis. Yeah, like the only person I take is my brother. Mm-hmm. Like, all right,
Townie's first, man.
Like, what are you gonna
Townie's
say
first.
about that?
Based off the long line that they had outside, I don't think they're in trouble of losing any business, and they can see whoever the hell they want it.
I was once in the country Prague, and I was visiting one of my friends, and he was not there, so I was actually with his roommate and her boyfriend, and all three of us were at a restaurant, and we actually ordered food, which is kind of crazy. So I'm like, culturally, I don't know how to dissect this. So we're like deep into a dinner. I don't want, or no, like an early dinner. I don't want to say deep into it because we weren't served, but like we already ordered and like we were already given drinks. And all of a sudden, basically, a waiter was like, "You guys are going way back there." And we're like, "What?" And it was like broken English, and they sent us like in a way back room. And someone who I was with, I can't remember which one. It was like my friend's roommate or the boyfriend. They were like, "Oh, basically, some locals arrived," and we're like, "No, we normally sit in this like one specific room of the restaurant," and they clearly recognized we were not there, like we were not born there, and they were like, "You don't live here. You're going to the back room." It was like super weird. I felt like I was shunned into a back room.
Yeah. I mean, I get the mentality,
Yeah.
but like if that ever happened to me, I would 100% never go back to that place again.
Sure.
I don't care if the fucking Pope shows up. Like, homie can wait in line. But I mean, if you're a tourist, they don't have to worry about you coming back again because you're never going to
That's
anyway.
very
so
true.
Right.
They don't fucking care, and I get it.
And they
Well,
didn't-
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if you're a repeat tourist though? I've not been a repeat tourist in a place. And P.S. like Prague outside of that was awesome, but that was like a weird local restaurant that was really weird. It was just super. I think I'm more like weirded out that I ordered food. Like if someone like immediately was like, "Ah, we're just gonna move you quickly," but I was like, I'm drinking an iced tea or a Coke, and like I'm already done with that. Like I'm ready for my dinner. Like it's been like ordered that like in that process they're like, before I feed you, you're going to the back room. I was like, oh. well.
Well, that's where you get buttered and tarred. And
Is it
feathered.
buttered and tarred?
Buttered and tarred and feathered.
I don't. Where did the buttered part go?
I don't know. It's a back room. It's a back room in Prague. I don't know.
Is that the summer rental?
Is that what you paid for?
Is that a slick move?
It might
Oh man, he gave me the summer rental.
be. Is that how
That's what it's
similar is
called.
that to a Smooth Francis?
Oh man, a smooth
No.
Francis is way different. You know, Mike.
Sorry, I should have.
Mike,
I should have known better. Yeah,
Mike, you know.
that's silly of me.
I'm still weirded out. Buttered and feathered. What's going on?
Yeah, I just brought it out of nowhere. You can get buttered and tarred and feathered.
Mike, t-shirts across the board.
Buttered and feathered. Wasn't Tarred and Feathered one of the movie trailers from Tropic Thunder?
Maybe.
Okay.
But it could now be buttered and
You got to get the butter in there first.
Yeah. Get the butter in there. Good.
You know what wasn't buttered? The lobster
fucking
that
lobster. Yeah.
Jack didn't get because this VIP jackass ordered the last six.
Power move number 1 in this film is coming up.
Yeah.
Weird powered move.
Yeah, Jack confronts the table of the bigwigs with what he perceives to be his lobster, and they get into a little fight. Is this your lobster? Oh, this is your table. Is this your dick or whatever he said? This is your jacket.
Yeah, he's like derobing himself like vocally. He's like, is this your jacket? Is this your tie? Are these your pants? And when he says, are these your pants? He unzips his zipper of his pants up and down. And his wife goes, and he's like, tit, 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 tit. Like he silences her, which is super gross.
Yeah.
But also he's unzipping his pants. Super gross.
I feel like this is a nightly confrontation that he gets.
Tit, 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 Mike. Yeah. Even John Candy's character, Jack Chester, is a little taken aback by this. He's like, no. This is not my pants zipper, nor my wife. This is like a David Byrne Talking Head song. This is not my beautiful wife or my beautiful
Lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
schlopster.
Lobster. Well, it's not. So he, in a huff, leaves. He talks about seeing rats, as one does. And this is where we're introduced to the Barnacle. This is the only other restaurant in town, apparently, that's open. It's the Barnacle.
Okay. So let me be pretty legitimate about the Barnacle. I mean,
I'm excited to hear this.
So first of all, I'll put it in the context of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, we had to get gas, and the gas station attendant was like, oh, go to the Barnacle. They have some nightly like meals. And then he even later says, this is John Candy. He's like, always listen to a gas station attendant. Okay, would I go to the Barnacle to eat food as a meal? Like not like French fries or like some kind of salty snack. I mean like a full-on meal with kids. Hell no. Would I go there to get a drink? And if someone was like, "Oh, we have like cool salty snacks, whatever," but like to get a beer, to get a shot, absolutely. Like, although the Barnacle seemed to like this is crazy, I know for a fact Mike would join me at the Barnacle right now.
I mean, the Barnacle is the place that I would have sought out for dinner specifically.
That just proves my point.
Right.
I mean that complimentary.
We'll see that, but yeah, I mean that's when I'm on like a vacation. The Barnacle is the place that I look for specifically.
Hell yeah.
It's a bar that serves bar food. pretty
Right. I
much,
mean, that's what I don't want to go to the fucking, what was it? The lobster one?
Oh, the yacht house.
I don't want to go to the fucking yacht house with
Wanna
those
go to the
dingleberries.
Barnacle, yeah.
Okay, so that's my back and forth. I'm like, So as someone who is married and has a child, the yacht. I mean, I don't know if I want to go to the yacht house per se, but meal wise, that's more on like the vision I have. Hey, I'm just like hanging out with my friend Pellet and Mike, and we're gonna go to get some drinks. I'm gonna stare off at the ocean and have a couple like beers and shots. I'm going to the Barnacle, like straight up. And so I'm like, I don't want their crap food. Like, no one thinks this is good. And it turns out to be like frozen fish fingers, or fish sticks.
Well, they
Real
didn't have
fish
to.
stick.
They didn't have to wait in line 2 hours for it.
That's true.
We have got to call people fish sticks here on out.
It was surprisingly empty, even.
Yeah. Well,
There's like a couple people.
Everyone that was there worked there, I think.
Yeah.
Right, they were drinking on their time off. I would rather hang out with those people. I'm not like joking when I say that. Like,
Yeah, that's what I,
right, like, hey guys, I'm gonna stare off in the ocean and like tip you well. Do you like places here? Let's talk. And they'll tell me stuff, and we're gonna drink, and I go home.
Some of the atmosphere was kind of questionable. I mean, for us it was all right, but for a family, I mean, some of the locals were, I don't know.
Yeah.
They looked a little suspicious.
What's a beach yokel?
You're meeting them in this movie right here in this scene.
So yeah, many characters. One of them, my favorite character in the movie,
Vicky.
Vicky. Who the fuck's Vicky?
The wife.
Vicky's the next door neighbor's wife, Ed's
Yeah.
wife.
Oh, we're not there. We're at Scully.
Yeah, I know. I
don't, dude. How long have we been doing this? Whose names have I remembered? You're throwing Vicky's around like I'm supposed to know what this is. Titty neighbor is that? That's what it is in my notes.
There we go.
That's Vicky.
That's Vicky. Vicky is the
right.
titty neighbor. Okay, but we're not there yet. We just met Scully. Scully is rip torn.
Yeah.
He's got a hook hand.
Yar.
Yar.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to chopping mall, La-Mar. Yar.
Yeah.
That still gets the laugh out of me.
Yes.
You guys did it. He's a nice character. He owns the establishment, the Barnacle, which is, I believe, a boat fused to a dock.
That seems great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, this is, growing up in Maine, this is the kind of place that I ate at frequently.
This seriously seems great. Mm-hmm. It seems like a bunch of people who are low-key, who keep to themselves, and when you want drinks or snacks, they will give them to you.
Right.
Pay, tip them respectively.
Right. They got oyster crackers.
Yeah.
And
just
beer.
don't throw them up.
The recommendation from Scully is Scully's catch of the day,
Scully's catch of the day.
which was a grouper, lightly fried,
Slightly breaded. Sauteed to a golden brown.
Did you write this down, or did you just remember?
I have everything.
I don't know what that means. Colin,
Colin has everything.
I'm looking at Colin like through my peripheral vision, and he had a really weird look.
Yeah.
Very directed to you, Mike, when he said that. So I don't want to get involved.
It's the look of a man who had it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it sounds appealing.
It really does.
But it was frozen fish sticks.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ambience of this place, whatever.
Yeah.
There are many bars that I frequented when I was younger, especially with La-Mar and Mike in this room, that if someone was like, I'm just going to give you like a frozen dinner, I would have been beyond grateful, because what my other selections were going to be worse than that.
That's very true. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to, sometimes the fresh isn't where you want it, especially from a place like this.
Luckily, a lot of places in Denver were like, oh, you like food trucks? You could bring in their food, or there's the pizza place next door. Like, that was awesome. But like,
oh yeah, I love it when there's a fucking food truck.
Right, but if there was like other things, like they were like, our bar does this, you're like, then like some ghoul out in the back would be like, yes, I will make this for you, and you're like, oh my god,
I'd rather have the ghoul than a fucking food truck.
Really? Well, which food truck? I mean,
dude, sick. It's they got grilled cheese. It's only $30 and it takes 45 minutes.
Well, that's
sick.
That's terrible. But Mike,
that's amazing.
I totally agree with that. But Mike used to get the catfish sandwiches.
Pierre was like a different.
So
that was a truck that had food in it.
Which is
that's true. Yeah.
Which is also a compliment to the business.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but like then the places we would like go, like would you rather have Pierre's catfish sandwich or what that bar was serving? And you're like, oh shit, no, I'm not eating. Like, unless
No, that's
someone's like,
fair, yeah.
unless someone's like, I have a bag of Doritos. I'm like, all right, dope. Like a sealed bag. It's sealed, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a couple places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple.
The bar by my house, they will make you a frozen pizza, or they have like bags of Gardettos that you can have, and that's your option.
Wow.
You know, I know the new big
No
thing
food
is
trucks, though.
there's the so like a vending machine. I can't remember. There's a bar not too far from me that I think has this. And if you remember, please do not say this on air, any of you. But there's pizza vending machines. You basically like type in like boop boop boop. I want this like pepperoni. I want like this, and it makes it. And I know Denver had one. I think this is like a Shark Tank idea, or it was like on it. And I'm like, I don't get what the big problem is. Like this seems like and I'm not joking. Like this seems overall like a great idea. If you want frozen pizza quality food at a bar, like reasonably frozen pizza, that seems okay.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to talk about where this was.
You can tell me off air.
Okay.
Tell me off air.
That's really weird.
Well, is it like 10 feet from my house?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't. I said if it's close, don't.
Oh, if it's close to you. No, downtown the Celtic had
that's right.
had
That's
one
right,
of the
yeah.
pizza machines. They don't any longer, but they used to.
Well, it just seems like that was like a win-win idea.
Well, the Celtic also served really good food.
Oh, well,
So I don't know who's
that's
buying the fucking pizza.
okay. So a bar that doesn't have any food, do that.
Yeah.
Like, good God, do that, and I think you'll make a lot of money. Like, we don't have a kitchen, but we only have this pizza vending machine.
Right. Well, the place by my house does it. It's not a vending machine. It's just like a toaster oven and Rocky Mountain pizza.
Right, that's fine. I mean, like,
They're okay.
You could have like 17 ingredients. It could be, I just have vegan cheese, no cheese, mozzarella cheese, and then like pepperoni, and then like a couple frozen vegetables.
Well, they're not making you the pizza. It's like Tombstone or whatever.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And if you
like,
order it, the bartender will fucking hate you forever. But
oh,
you know,
I thought it was like you just like put in a credit card.
for the vending machines, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I
like-
think it's just a frozen pizza that's getting heated up. We are way off the.
It doesn't matter. That's summer rental, buddy.
Yeah, no, we're here. We're making
You're going to
frozen
be
pizza.
sitting around eating frozen pizzas. Scully's catch of the day. Yar.
Would you order fish sticks out of a vending machine that cook
No.
them for you?
No. No.
Maybe.
The situation's right.
Yeah.
How late is
What about a can of Dinty-Moore stew with a cigarette?
I was
taped
just
to
about
it?
to
Would you buy
say
that
that
from a
because
vending
we've been in bars that have that.
Yeah.
it? Could be.
Yeah. Well, they had a good time. They had a good time with the Barnacle.
Well, to get you really quick back on track, and I'll abridge this a bit. So they are not at the right place.
Oh shit! Yeah, they're not.
They go home. They've had what they consider a bad night, a bad meal. P.S. to that, the real owners come home and they're like, "We're on Beach Lane. You're on Beach Road. Get the hell out of our house." Now I'm going to flash forward pretty quickly, just to save some time in all this. I know we've been on some tangents, but that's summer rental. This movie's fun. You think about other things. It's a good thing. So they go to their real beach house, which is a shit show. The next door neighbor is doing power tooling to the house. Like there are things being kicked in. It sounds like someone's just kicking like some wood planks every which way. They're also on a public beach road because like some kid's picking his nose in the window and John Candy's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then he's like, "Oh my God, there's a line of people," because they literally like, I would assume they're 5 feet away from the public access road. To top all of this off, they live next door to a bunch of lifeguards, which doesn't seem to be a problem, but you have a teenage daughter. Again, shout out Carrie Green. You're still the Goonies in everyone's heart. So dad's freaking out. This is not the ideal situation. Now they're going to go to the beach. We're getting some more beach situations. I think I'm going to speak a little bit for Mike and I. Mike, I think this is why I like this movie the best. Like, and this seems weird, like non-story, just beach fun. Beach fun scenarios with the ocean in the background. That I could watch any movie with that. It could be serious. It could be a horror film. I just really love the ocean. Like I've always loved the ocean. So any movie that incorporates that and someone's doing something, I'm in. Like 100% in for this film.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of beach fun. There's some frisbee. There's frisbee to dick at one point.
The lifeguards, one of the lifeguards was like, hey, that guy looks like John Madden.
Yeah, he thought he looked like John Madden.
Which he did.
He did a little bit, yeah.
I do like the 5-minute scene of him walking to his spot in the beach and just how congested the beach is.
Oh, yeah, he's stepping on everyone's shit.
What a good...
I like that in general.
Yeah, La-Mar, I think this is kind of like an iconic situation, or an iconic scene in the film. So he puts the youngest daughter, Lori, on his shoulders, and she's like, go here, Daddy, go there. And he's walking around, and his cooler breaks open. He's like, oh my God, like my cooler's open. I'm sorry, there's a default in the product. He's knocking the holy shit out of someone's camera. Like that, he's like, there's sand in my lens. I'm like, that's over.
Yeah.
That camera's trash.
Shouldn't have had the camera on the sand to begin with.
But he also was like putting out with the cooler, there's water or some ice melting. That's putting out people's like barbecue. He's like, I think it's pretty illegal to have this. I'm not sure. He's stepping in people's like salads.
He's just stepping on food everywhere.
Yeah, what is going on? I told all of these guys in this room, I was like, this is kind of one of my nightmares. I've been to many beaches. Just being surrounded by people. Listen, if you watch this movie, being in a beach situation, this is way more claustrophobic. Being by people that are like a couple feet away, I totally understand. This beach scenario is, and I'm not even joking, people are like 4 to 5 inches away. Like, if you sat down, there are people surrounding you, your head, your toes, your left, your right, by inches. Am I lying on
You're
this?
not. It was packed.
That's
Yeah, this sucks. Like, hell no. Later in the film, or like within days, it's also establishing like it's 105-degree weather. So I have to assume like before and after, it's somewhat similar. This is absolutely my nightmare. Like, it's 105 degrees. There's someone 3 feet away from you, and you don't know them. I told the guys the parallel for me was, what if we watched Summer Rental and we all laid on my floor and you all were 5 inches away from me? It'd be super uncomfortable for me.
That would be unnecessarily weird, but...
Or it might just awaken things.
Yeah.
Extra weird?
Yeah. So when he was stomping around, one of my favorite things is he's like, send the bill to 415 Beach Lane, which is not where he's staying.
Yeah, his original address that is booted out from.
I for sure thought this was going to come back up, and it never did.
There was noted moments that the scenes were cut, so maybe get some bills at the end.
There's a nice line about, I think Jack is playing frisbee. Frisbee lands next to a couple, and they're making out. And the woman rolls over onto the frisbee while Jack is reaching for it. Her butt lands on his hand. Her boyfriend notices, and his line is, oh, I'm sorry, got my hand. Oh, man, what was the line? I'm sorry.
Your wife's on my whammo.
Your wife's on my whammo.
It sucks when you get your whammo stuck in a random woman. Or does it?
Wow, I was about to ask La-Mar a question, but I was derailed by that.
I like
You just
that.
got whammoed.
La-Mar, we have watched this movie like for years in a row, right? Like, you have seen this more than once with me.
I honestly, I think I've only seen it once with you.
But before this night?
Before this night.
Okay, I know I saw it at least once. Like that.
Oh, yeah,
that was
definitely.
More, I know there was again like a night like my dad and Mike and I watched this. My dad was like, I don't need to watch a movie. I'm just here for a short trip. I'll watch this. And then we all like Mike came like halfway through and we all finished it. Mike's like, I'll finish it, and my dad was like, I need to see it end.
Ropes you in. Yeah, it does. Well, okay, so he frees his whammo, I guess. Jack is kind of lamenting that things aren't really going his way this trip. What can he do to like spend time with the family? What's he good at? Sailing.
Yeah.
He's really, and in his mind, he's really good at sailing. So he wants to rent a boat, teach his son how to do some sailing. All the sailboats are rented though, because of the The ricotta.
The regatta.
The ricotta. It's
The ricotta
It's a
regatta.
ricotta.
I told you it'd be good on a sandwich.
Yeah. The regattas. But he does. Who has a boat for rent?
Good old Scully.
Thank you. Scully has a boat for rent. A nice 12-footer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the Barnacle.
Back to the Barnacle.
That could be on the back of a T-shirt, Mike.
The old
Or
12-footer.
Rabbit Troop sucks. A nice 12-footer.
Back to the
I
Barnacle.
like that.
And back to
And that too.
back to the Barnacle could be on the what's the pocket on the
Epaulette.
front of a shirt.
Sure. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll get the unpaid graphic artist to mock something up.
Sweaty balls.
Those two. I mean, 104 degrees. Everyone's got that.
Oh yeah.
But he's out sailing. He thinks he knows what he's doing. Scully offers to give him a lesson. He's like, no, I know how to sail. It's fine. Fuck off. And he kind of does. I mean, he's doing an okay job, to be fair.
He had enough to take off and sail.
Yeah,
a little bit.
he's doing sailing for sure.
He dodged a boat.
He dodged a boat, one boat. He also not dodged a different boat.
Yeah.
That was a weird way of saying that. He crashed into a boat.
No, that was the right way of saying it.
Was it? Thank you.
Ram jam.
He ram jammed right into the incisor, which is the boat of Pellet.
You call him
Pellet.
Pele.
Al Pellet.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Pellet?
I think
This guy's name sucks. I don't
Well,
like it.
I think the waiter at that weird lobster place was like,
Hello,
hello.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's like Pellet.
It's Al Pellet.
Al
I
Pellet.
just have him down as Al.
Yeah, there you go.
This is my doctor, Al Pellet. Seems like this is my guinea pig's doctor, Al Pellet. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, it is a guinea pig doctor name.
You think he'd be a dentist with a boat called Incisor?
You would, well, maybe he was. We
Nice.
don't know what he does.
In sizes.
Yeah. He does. He's just a professional turd. But in this collision, the incisor gets penetrated a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the sound effect.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. And Jack fucks his knee up, which was, I don't know.
Yeah.
A thing?
A thing.
That was the
Yeah.
backstory. Oh, not your bad knee. It is my bad knee.
Yeah. I mean, they did this. This was just something that had to be said so that he could be gimping around for the next half of the movie.
Sort of. It's like a way to introduce himself to Scully. It's a
Yeah.
way to introduce himself to alcoholism.
Right. His knee injury was a MacGuffin to lead down the path of the rest of the movie.
Shot.
Oh, the boat that he rented, the name was Shotzi.
Yeah, see? Shot.
Shotzi.
Shotzi. Yes.
Yeah. So he's his legs all fucked up. He's in a inflatable cast. I have never seen one of these before or since this movie.
Yeah, that's...
Is that a thing? Is this a thing?
I think it was just a protector to keep it dry.
Maybe. But
Well, I have
I had no idea why he was wearing that.
it looked like a big water wing that took up his whole leg.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. He's got it. He's limping around. He's kind of bummed. But this kind of introduces him to some new characters. He meets Titty Neighbor,
Vicky?
It allows him to bond with Scully.
I think Vicky is, like, honestly an iconic character of this film.
Of
I know,
course, yeah.
Yeah, like, I know that sounds super weird. Colin is the only one who's not seen this film. But Colin, the reason I'm noting that is, like, the next door neighbor, which we'll, like, kind of, like, flesh out.
Well, we can flesh her out right now.
Well, in seconds, we're gonna flesh out. It's really weird to be like, Titty Neighbor is such an iconic character. Like, Colin, what did you think of Vicky, the next door neighbor? Like, we should ask Colin.
Did they look real to you, or
Yeah, were they firm? Do you need the doctor's number?
The most surprising thing was the husband's reaction, and I think that
Ed?
made the whole scene hilarious
Yeah.
for sure.
So for some context, Titty Neighbor Vicky, invites him over for lemonade. So the rest of the family's out, like, doing things because they don't want to sit around the house with this bitch all day.
They went out to see a movie.
They went out to see a movie. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But so he, Jack's at home. And Vicky sees him spill his iced tea. Is like, why don't you come over for some lemonade? And he says, okay. So drinking the lemonade, she's like, hey, you're an air traffic controller. You must have great vision, good judgment. What do you think of these?
Whips him out.
Whips him right out. And he's like, oh, good.
He does the married man thing.
He does, the neck wringing little, whoa. But then Ed starts coming downstairs. Let's go, fuck, I gotta get out of here. But then this is the surprise that Collin talked about.
He's like, did you tell her they're perfect?
Yeah, like, would you just tell her they're nice?
Just touch them.
Yeah.
Tell her that they're great. And he kind of does.
Gives him a little pinch, yeah. The realness was apparently top shelf. That's what you get for $2,000 for the pair. It was either that or a chainsaw. So
I don't know how to say this in a way to like promote myself as like a nice person.
Oh no, let it out.
Yeah, this will be good.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. The purest one of us is gonna say something gross now.
No, it's just I think knowing all of you for so many years, I think this would be the situation I would get myself in. And I think all of you couldn't disagree with me. Like, that's not, like, I wouldn't be like John Candy, like, oblivious to, like, oh, like, this woman is inviting me next door. It would just be more like, I'm at someone's house and all of a sudden they're topless, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, their husband woke up, and they're like, come on, just look at him. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I just want to get out of this house. I think this is my luck and this is my situation in life. Mike, you have to agree with this.
I mean, having been in a room with you where a gentleman came through a window.
Sure.
Yes, this is a situation that we have quite legitimately almost found ourselves in.
Right, like, so I'm not oblivious, but like I went next door and someone's like blank, and all of a sudden someone has like a firearm, or someone's jumping through a room, or someone's topless, and I don't know why. This is my life.
I know.
This is the situation I now need to explain to the police.
Well, thankfully, we left before the police got there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
real quick.
Real talk.
The alternative was tits or a chainsaw for $2,000.
What kind of chainsaw?
Exactly.
Or have chainsaws gotten cheaper like flat screen TVs? 'Cause that seems like a lot of money for
Back
a
in
chainsaw.
the day, oh my God.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I mean, what's $2,000 in today's money?
I don't know, like probably $20,000. Like honestly,
It can't be $20,000.
But like twice that.
I was thinking like
from
4,000 to 5,000.
From 85, I don't know, man, like $20,000. Dude,
I'm not subscribing to $20,000, but I'm saying like $5,000.
Dude, La-Mar, I had to tell the other day that he owed my wife $17 for fried rice.
Yeah.
$20,000.
Well,
$1 in 1985 is equivalent to about $2.12
okay.
in 2018, which is pretty close to now.
Yeah. So we're looking at like $4,000 to $5,000.
Gross.
Super gross.
Grand
Yeah.
wise.
But that's
this chainsaw better be fucking cutting trees down itself.
That's like the one, like the big ones that loggers use that are like 10 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, well, but again, 85, where chainsaws like a new technology.
That's true.
Maybe.
Were they? I don't
No, they weren't.
I was going to say, I don't think so.
The
but-
important thing is that this was still the right decision.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he made the right call. Also, what's he cutting down with that chainsaw? He lives on the fucking beach.
That's true.
Well, I mean, we saw all those 2x4s. He's building like an extension onto his house.
You don't build a deck with a chainsaw.
I mean,
Or do you?
I mean,
Have I been doing this wrong the whole time?
that's why Jack Chester seemed really off-put, that he just woke up every day to a chainsaw. And I noted earlier, just a constant kicking to a board.
Yeah.
It just seemed like, ring, kick, ring, kick. Like, what was the kick?
Well, you have to karate kick the boards.
Well, I mean, strike first, strike
That's just
hard.
construction 101. I don't know.
There's no utility to it. You just do that
Yeah.
to keep them awake.
I just changed my mind about this thing. The chainsaw thing was entirely made up. It was just to present the like aura of sacrifice that the tits made sense.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could. agree for all of us. This is one of the best episodes we have ever done.
Absolutely.
The tangents,
Anyway, I think I'm done about the tits.
The MacGuffins.
Okay, we've talked about the tits enough.
Yeah.
It's such an iconic part of this film, though.
It
I mean,
is.
that's
It is.
crazy.
It's important.
It's very.
Yeah.
It is important.
Super strange side note. I think I told La-Mar in a text message, like, honest to God, La-Mar, like 15 years ago, that it was the woman who was in this movie who showed her tits. She then, like, put a plastic bag over her head and just, like, put a bunch of drugs in her head in a hotel and died. She, like, committed suicide with a drug overdose.
You started this tale
Wow.
really optimistically.
Yeah,
the tone misled
that
me.
turned really wild.
That was
Wow.
very sad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well, that's what you get.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what she got.
Well, let's put that behind us.
Ed's awake.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck.
It's cool
Okay,
with everything.
while all this titty stuff is happening,
Mike, that's our second song. Ed's awake.
fuck. While the titty stuff is happening, the wife, whatever the fuck her name is, Vicky is going to the movies.
Sandy.
What? The wife is Sandy? God damn it. Okay, Sandy and whatever Joey Lawrence and that the Goonie and whatever the little one's called.
Carrie Green.
Jennifer Bobby Laurie.
I'm never stop. Just guys, this isn't getting us anywhere. The rest of the family is going to a movie or attempting to.
Mike, I'm gonna give it a shout out to one of our listeners,
Which one?
Hillary.
Okay.
So, what is Hillary's view on your view of never knowing anyone's name?
I don't know. I don't know that her and I have talked about it.
You should talk.
Okay, Hillary, we're overdue for drinks.
Yes.
Let's talk about my.
Teach Mike character names.
Don't do it. No one cares. The rest of the family is at this fucking movie.
Summer rental.
They went. It's very meta. It's like in Spaceballs. They were going to see their own movie. But she forgot her fucking wallet in her gigantic tote bag. But thankfully, John Larroquette and his hunky son.
Don.
Yeah, whatever.
Don and son.
What's the son's name? Yeah, motherfucker. You don't know.
Oh,
You
shit.
don't know anyone's name. I know Don's name. Well, let me bring us back. Mm-hmm. A mother with 3 children. Let's go back.
Oh, we're going way back. Okay, yeah, no. That's,
We got to put this in the 80s because I need to put this in the like financial context because I think La-Mar shouted out like the price range. A mom, so you're in the like mid 80s. A mom and 3 kids are in front of you. It's raining outside. You know you're in like a tourist town. And all of a sudden the mom's like, I'm gonna get 3 tickets. You know, also like with these 3 kids spreading the ages, you have to get like popcorn, some drinks, like whatever. All of a sudden, like the mom's like, oh shit, like I forgot my wallet. And you could tell like the mom's kind of freaking out.
yeah, she's not pulling a scam. This is legit.
Yeah, the mom's like, oh my God, I forgot my wallet. Like, what's going on? And the guy behind you, who is John Larroquette.
What's his name? Don.
Don. Is there. Side note, Mike, we talked about like the father. Mm-hmm. But my wife and I talked about who's
My wife.
my wife. It talked about who's the brother. It's John Barenthal. The brother is John Barenthal.
Oh, is it?
In The Bear. He's also in another movie where he plays like a dead like component. John Barenthal is the like
Punisher?
yeah.
Well, he's also in The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead?
Punisher's brother.
Yeah.
Or like Internet's brother. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't piece that. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
recognized that.
neither. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I don't know.
No. But yeah,
all I
so
got.
John Larroquette, Don.
Yeah.
Don and Johnny
sorry.
Bear.
Sorry, the question I was going to
Okay,
ask is,
here we go.
in the 80s, you know, there's a mom and 3 kids, and she's like, oh, like you sincerely see this. Oh shit, I forgot my money. Would you not pay for it?
Of course.
And so that's why I said like the 80s economics. I think Mike or La-Mar was like, I think someone like paid with like a $10.
Yeah, he's like,
bill.
okay, so it'll be 4 adults and 2 children. He hands a $10 bill
Yeah.
and gets change.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Right. Like, so for like $30, you could feed like 2 adults, 5 kids, popcorn, drinks, movie.
No wonder why we saw so many movies back in the 80s
Right.
in theaters. If they were cheap. I mean, today I wouldn't. That's a whole paycheck just for 2 movies.
Yeah.
And popcorn and all the accessories. Here,
Yeah.
John Larroquette, $10.
Yeah.
And bam.
Well, so
I know.
you know, it was a nice gesture, and this kind of kicks off the relationship that.
Was supposed to happen, but didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was supposed to be kind of like a I mean, we don't know what it was.
Cluck.
He was gonna cuck him real hard.
I think that was like, I'm glad this was edited out. This was just stupid.
No, it would have been stupid. But basically, it kind of kicks off the next little bit of the movie where the wife, don't fucking tell me your name because I don't care. Sandy, where she and the kids are like have this other thing to do while Jack is at home being a sad little bitch because his legs all fucked
But
up.
I'm glad that, like, honestly, that I don't know how to phrase this. That John Candy did one thing, and the mom was like, "Oh, like our kids get along." That totally makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very reasonable, and there was no reason to assume there was a sexual component.
Yeah.
Like nothing that John Larroquette did on camera. I mean, he was only on it briefly, but like nothing that he did insinuated that he was trying to be like a shitbag. He was just like, hey, like you're a mother and your children get along with mine, and like we should hang out.
Totally.
Because your husband seems like a tool.
Kind of the way that they edited this, where the oldest daughter was hanging out with the lifeguard, and then she connected with Don Larroquette's son via music. I kind of thought they were going to try to add something with the daughter.
Yeah.
And it was the lifeguard versus the music guy that were going to have
Collin,
conflict.
That was a totally lost like element. Like totally like. Who's the daughter gonna choose? Like, there's a lifeguard. There's this new
Well, thank
guy.
God they didn't do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would have been
Yeah.
stupid.
That sounds
It
so
would've sucked,
convoluted.
yeah.
Maybe an extra 10, 20 minutes to the movie. I don't need that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have added anything, and no one cared about.
No,
the
it
kids
wouldn't.
anyway.
The way it went down is the way it should have.
Yep.
So that they have some kind of something to do, something to occupy themselves, and it frees up Jack to kind of pursue his own thing. He befriends Scully.
Who the fuck is Jack?
Fuck all of you. That's it.
Oh boy, that was the one. That was the one.
I put a little effort in for you guys, and you clown on me. I wore my John Candy T-shirt just to impress you, and it's not working. You guys are being dicks.
I'm not going to rack on you for the names, Mike.
Thank you. That's why you're my favorite.
You and I were kind of that.
That's right. You guys with your Dons and your Jacks. Oh, do you want me to keep talking about this fucking movie?
Yes, please.
So, Jack can go do his own thing and befriend Scully and learn how to be a better sailor.
Yar.
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 I don't know where in this movie it happens because we've kind of just gone off the track. But at some point,
That's great.
yeah, no, it is. It
That's
is.
the fun.
That's
of
the
this film.
summer fun.
Yeah, totally. Dude, yeah.
Jack gets a call from some lawyer that he needs to go connect with the landlord who's been unreachable for a while so he can pay rent for the rest of the summer. Turns out the guy is dead.
Aw.
Super dead. Yeah.
There's just some weird acting chops with the dude who is the I don't know, like
The lawyer or whatever.
yeah. Because there's a lot of moments where he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk in this funeral home," and then even at the end when like Mike had to like dissect what happens, that dude. The last scenes in the film, like that dude seems alarmed. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, well, he saw it all go down. He's like, "This is not what I did not intend."
That
for
is
this to
again my
happen."
luck. Like in like at a situation like this, like, yeah, like, you gotta pay this guy. So,
Well, so they're I don't know why they're like executing this dude's estate at his funeral in front of his open casket.
Like, it's super weird.
Very weird. But that's what they're doing. he's like, well, I have this rent check. But it turns out the person who is now taking ownership of this property is Mr. Pellet.
Dun, dun,
Pellet?
dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Al Pellet.
Al
Crushed it.
Pellet. Thank
Nice.
you. You get sick. I did it.
Rambo friend number 1.
What's his
There you
name in
go.
Rambo?
Troutman.
Troutman.
Yeah.
That's a
that's
dick
right.
name.
It is.
Yeah.
Troutman.
I still want to know his designation.
Captain Troutman.
Maybe.
Colonel.
Colonel
Sounds right,
right.
doesn't it?
It does.
I've
Yeah.
said those things. I've said a lot of
And
things.
some of them are right.
Yes,
you gotta throw a wide net.
Sooner or later, I'm gonna hit that target.
Yeah, Colonel Samuel Richard
There you go.
Sam
Nice.
Troutman.
Boom.
Wait. Colonel Samuel Richard
Sam
Troutman.
Troutman.
Oh, Sam is in...
Yeah,
okay.
quotes. Yeah,
His first and second middle name are both not Sam.
correct.
Because that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Let's backtrack for a second.
Okay, how far?
I'm pinpointing Mike on this.
Oh, good.
Which Rambo film? I know I'm looking at La-Mar. I'm
Okay.
trying to look away from La-Mar. Which Rambo film do you think eventually we should do? Any Rambo film? Which one?
I would rather do Hot Shots Part 2, which is kind of the second two Rambos, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I kind of legitimately like most of the Rambo movies. Like, First Blood is a weird movie, and I like it.
I think
Same
we
here.
should do that movie. Colin, have you seen First Blood?
No, I've only seen the original Rambo.
I've seen.
First Blood?
First Blood,
Wait, isn't it just Rambo?
no.
1982 is Rambo? No, First Blood. Yeah.
First Blood is the first one.
Oh, okay.
Like the one where he's just like a
Did you
dude
first
walking
blood?
around.
Right, where he's like a homeless guy in Seattle or whatever, and they're like, fuck you, get out of town.
I'm wearing a Seattle t-shirt.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
are. This is one of those weird things. Like, if I had to pick a Rambo movie to watch right now, it would always be the one where he's in Afghanistan, because that one's stupid and fun.
Three?
Oh.
Yeah.
Three is
Like,
amazing.
Three,
Blows
they
away
know
like
what they're
50
doing with
yeah.
that.
There's like 50 people that are dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the best one by far, but like, it's the most fun.
That's
for me
what
to
Rabid
watch.
Troop Sucks is all about.
Yeah, exactly.
But the first one is like bananas.
The first one I think is a legitimately good movie.
But it's also like, as Mike noted, like a dude just like walking around and then it's like, I'm going to kill you. He's like, no, I'm going to kill all of you.
Right.
It's like, it's just super, it is a crazy film.
If we talk about it, we're gonna have to talk about it like in a more personal, deeper tone. Then we're not gonna have fun with it. It's not good. It's not a fun romp.
Yeah, I don't think the first Rambo would be an interesting, fun movie to discuss.
So you're saying we're all going to lay on the floor. Before
We got-
inches
Yeah,
away?
Yes.
we're gonna cuddle up. We'll put towels down.
We gotta paint our faces, mud up our
Goddamn.
faces.
Yeah.
Where are we?
It's
in
gonna
this
get
film?
really deep.
So Pellet bought the house, and he's like, "Hey,
You got.
you're out, renter. Get the fuck out. You have till Saturday."
He signed a deed on the old landlord's coffin too. I like that little part.
And that's a fucking good move, dude. And how lucky! It's like he didn't do any research, probably. Like,
Yeah, he just walked in.
just fucking. I'm. This dude's dead. I'm buying a house. Oh, it's this fucker.
That's
You're out.
exactly how it happened.
Well, he even later says, "I would have paid anything for this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was stoked when he walked in and was like, "I need to pay someone rent."
Yeah, that was Kismet. like that was a villain. Like
It was.
like being electrocuted and realizing their superpower.
Yeah, this was his origin moment.
Especially the way he just handed him his check. He's like, "Oh, since you're here, and the landlord, here's $2,000. Nah, I'm not going to take your money. I want you out by Saturday, or I'm going to call the police and have you ushered
It
out."
seems really nice. I think that was 3 to 4
Yeah.
days away from.
Yeah.
Well,
Enough
also,
time.
I'm sure that based on whatever rental agreement he had signed, that would be highly illegal.
No, the rules have changed. He is altered.
I think it was being generous. It was like
No, I mean that is nice, but I mean if you just because you buy a house doesn't mean
it wasn't
that
bought.
That's
It
true.
was just rented.
Well, no, like Pellet now owns the house.
Sure.
Just because ownership changed doesn't mean like an existing contract is void.
Unless the contract involves the death of the landlord, which
Well,
might be the
and
case.
the deal was you pay 2 months at a time. So that's why I say he was being generous, because I think it was like Ideally, you would be out in like a day. I'm going to
Sure.
give you 4, which is 2 weeks and 4 days from what you were paying me.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like if Jack had gone to a property lawyer and been like, I have a signed agreement.
Sure, but that might have like ushered you out of like your summer. Like, I'll see you in September.
You could have fought it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's just Florida too. So this isn't.
That's true.
This
Florida
isn't
has
California
no
rental
laws
rules.
for
This
anything.
is Florida rental rules.
Well, I mean,
Well, whatever.
also, like, I think we could all agree, regatta rules.
It is all about the regatta.
I mean, if you're not going to French fry when you're in a, pizza slice.
Fucking Darsh.
I think it's standarsh every day of my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't be French frying when you should have been pizza.
No, I think
Definitely.
every person who has ever wronged me, like you're on a bus, you're in an Uber,
Total
you're driving
Darsh.
your car, you're walking across the street, and someone just is an asshole, you're just like, whatever, standarsh.
Yeah. No.
Like, I know that was directed at me. Did you just say standarsh?
One douchebag is a Darsh. A group is a bunch of Quimbies.
Like a murder of crows?
Yeah.
How many Darches in a Quimby?
At least
17.
3 or 4. Oh, 17. Okay.
Jesus.
That's a big Quimby. Well, anyway. He's out of the house. Family's not happy. But he comes up with a plan.
Something inspires him.
He's cooking something up.
Yeah.
Let's build a boat.
Gonna build. He's based on this friendship and sailing lessons that he's had with Scully. He's like, I'm gonna fucking win this regatta.
Let's build a boat.
He's gonna build a boat.
Not only is he going to build a boat, he's going to take this boat here at the Barnacle,
Yeah.
and refurbish it into a nice.
I would suggest you take this boat, this Rambo. Mike, you know what I'm talking about. Don't take this boat across. It's going to be a problem.
Isn't that like the one where he has to like take the kids to Burma or whatever, and everyone gets shot in the dick?
I told you not. They all got shot in the
God.
dick.
That's how they do it in Burma.
I told you not to
The
take
Burmese
this
dick
boat.
shot is what it's
God
called.
damn.
It's a classic move.
Yeah, it's what the Gurkhas do. I don't know anything about Burma or Myanmar or whatever. Anyway, none of that's applicable here. He goes back to Pellet and is like, "Hey,
Pull it off.
no, what does Scully call Pellet? A squid's dick.
Ooh, yeah, squid
Squid
stick.
Yeah.
Squid's dick.
I told you guys, T-shirt, squid's dick.
Squid's dick.
Squid
Stick.
Squid's yeah.
Squid stick.
You tell me you
dick.
like to have sex with a squid.
Gay squid dick.
Squid dick.
Don't take this boat.
We're gonna get sued by everyone for this episode. Defamation, anything you can think of.
I'm gonna ask La-Mar a direct question.
Jesus.
So
We'll see.
You don't have to answer this, but
I like the Jesus. So there's been a lot of South Park episodes over my life watching with La-Mar. I'm like, oh my god, that could have been the last episode. La-Mar, I feel this is the last episode of Rabbit Troop Sauce. Not for real, but like there
This
are
is
moments
how we
I'm
get
like,
canceled.
yeah, I'm like, there's some truths. There's some truths.
This feels like a setup to the beginning of the end. Not the last one, but this could be 3 or 4 episodes later. You can tell where everything spiraled out of control.
this is definitely if any of us like run for office in the future, this is the episode they're gonna get a sound clip.
Damn it.
Squid stick.
Yeah. Is this the man? Squid's
What was the episode where Collin was being
God.
driven to the principal's office? Like, not again.
what?
I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, actually.
Yeah, that was like 2 episodes.
God, I thought you were gonna talk about the campus ones, the Dead Man on Campus. Those ones.
Oh my
were
god.
fucking terrible.
And that was
Mike was so
series.
angry.
Oh man, I'm still angry about that.
Anyway, don't listen to those
Squid
episodes.
sticks.
Yeah, no, I mean if you
Yeah, if you value any time,
Not again.
listen to all of them.
yeah. On YouTube, get those.
We've just now been banned from YouTube based on
Dude.
Shouldn't have said
Yeah.
cunt 30 seconds.
Whoops.
You got to save that for the first hour.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fucking wager time. He confronts
Pellet?
Pellet, and he's like, you know what?
I got a Scully.
You took a vacation from my family. I'm gonna take something from you. That motherfucking trophy for the regatta.
I could outsail you.
Yeah.
At the regatta.
You couldn't beat
You
my
couldn't
dinghy.
beat my dinghy. So the bet is
Who couldn't beat his dinghy?
he beats his own fucking dinghy. His wife sure doesn't. So the bet is that if Jack wins, he gets to stay rent free for the rest of the summer. If Jack loses, he'll give him the rest of the rent and he'll leave.
Yep, $1,000.
Yeah,
Is it $1,000 versus $2? What?
I know. Like Jesus Christ,
Whatever.
fucking inflation, man. But I mean, I guess you'd have to live in Florida. But
An
anyway,
80s gold tooth.
yeah. Fuck, I lost my shit there. This is kind of a genius move by Jack because it still buys him at least a couple days because the regatta
Well, he still has it.
a
They
little
have
ways
to
out.
remove they have to move out by Saturday. That's what I was saying earlier.
but we don't know what date it is. I guess.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
was
regatta
also
could be
like-
on Wednesday or whatever.
But it was also
Yeah.
like you got to be out in 4 days. I
Right.
was
So
like,
he might have bought himself an extra day or two.
Sure.
Who knows?
But it's more about like the hubris of the situation.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what this movie is about. The hubris of man.
Well, for one man.
Well, it's like this guy's situation is like, all right, I'm like Pellet. Here's the situation. I'll move out for like $1,000 and you'll get it. But I think it's like really the bet. Like it's clear like $1,000 might be jack shit to you, but like you'll crush my victory. You'll like, I don't know, destroy me.
There's no way that this out-of-towner is going to come to my home turf and beat me at sailing, which is something that I pride myself on.
This outer towner is going to be integral to my life, and
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, bet accepted. And now it's time. The rest of the movie is just a series of montages. With the first montage is fixing up the boat. So the boat they're using is the restaurant, the Barnacle.
let's talk about the actor, Mike.
Okay, and we have. So we have a team up here. So we have Scully. He's helping out. The family's all pitching in. Cortez and the Asian guy are also helping.
Squid stick.
Squid's dick.
Squid stick.
Squid stick.
Squid stick.
Did the Asian dude have a name? Because I was trying to figure out who this actor was. I couldn't find it either. It's Squid. But they're all kind of pitching in, kind of refurbing this boat that used to be part of a restaurant. And who comes to help out? Was the character's name Sven? I'm only saying that because it's.
Oh, man. What was this?
It
was a big.
No, it was Angus.
Angus
McLaughlin.
Yeah. So big, red-haired. I mean, what was he supposed to be? I don't know why.
He was
assumed-
obviously Scottish, and he called him Swedish.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. This is the man who's trying to find a sail, and this man,
Yar.
This man is played by actor.
Richard Hurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we all, Mike was like, I could only see him as a priest. And if you go to the IMDb photo,
And maybe that's why.
yeah,
That's-
but we've seen him in something, and
We've seen him in a
I-
bunch of stuff.
I just can't believe it's this actor.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
guys-
you know him.
You
for
guys
sure.
saw him as a priest. I saw him as a Starfleet admiral. He just looks like a
Star
old
Trek.
man-
Yeah.
Star Trek admiral. Just looks like a older gentleman who, in this movie. Just you would not recognize him.
He was also the admiral in Sequest. By the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yar.
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 He's the admiral in everything.
I'll find you the finest sail in this island that we're at,
And he
Florida.
he did eventually. He was driving around in his Jeep Renegade or whatever.
Cherokee.
Hey, Paul corrected me on a car thing. We're growing. Wow.
I think you just made that up.
Yeah, but he was right.
Welcome to the trivia
Actually,
team.
he wasn't. It was a Wrangler. But
Go to hell, everyone. Go to hell, everyone.
you were
So-
more right than I was.
part of the trivia team, or you're not.
I totally missed how he found a sail. I remember he didn't have a sail.
He just eventually
and
found
then
one,
it just
I
showed
guess.
up.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, he got one. He,
said
you
he
know,
was gonna get one.
He just
Angus
came
makes
through.
moves, man.
The family
Yeah.
joins in.
Yeah, they're all scraping barnacles off the barnacle. They're painting They're having a blast.
There is one scene in this film that I sincerely, very emotionally attached to. I've always since, it's like a poem. I've always felt that. I've always felt this since I was a kid. It is the father-daughter talk.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, he's sitting down, Jack, John Candy is sitting down with Cary Green, and he's like, I'm really trying for the family. And, I don't know, what would you say? She's 15, 16?
Yeah.
That sounds about
she's
right.
adult enough to understand, the family dynamic. And he's like, I'm really trying for the family. I hope we could win. And I really like a moment. And she's like, I know you want to win. And he's like, yeah, just winning one would be nice. And she sincerely, the daughter, is like, winning one would be nice, right? He's like, yeah. Winning one. Yeah. And I'm like, that was a really nice moment. Outside of this film, that was a very sincere acting moment. I'm like, it's one of the moments that really gravitates me to this film. It's kind of a cheesy summer film, but at the end of the day, this is a fun movie.
Yeah. Up until that point, his relationship with his kids had just been kind of just, I'm a dad and your kids go away. But this is like a bonding moment finally.
They tried to do it with the son a little bit when he taught him how to sail off
That's
that.
true.
It's the way that they sprinkled it in was so was just enough to be okay, he's a dad who cares about his kids, but not enough to where it kind of interfered with the plot. Yeah. Just actually, from an editing standpoint, pretty masterfully done.
Actually, now that I think about it, they make a good point.
But I mean, also, I understand, now coming from a fatherly perspective, daddy needs, a week off. But it's not weird. It's not I'm going to Vegas, I'm getting crazy, I'm doing drugs, I'm, meeting, whomever at, strip clubs. It's just, I want to bond with my family, but at the end of the day, I think I need a week where I'm just learning how to sail and just keeping to myself. Yeah. I'm I understand that, dude.
Yeah,
he had a pretty good vacation. He learned how to sail.
Sure,
he got to feel some tits from Vicky.
Yeah, got some strange.
Got some strange. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all in all, that's a win.
Yeah.
Now we got to go to the regatta. The challenge is up. You're gonna boot me out. Well, I'm gonna boot you in.
Yeah, I'm gonna boot you right in.
Poots.
Yeah. Whether or not he was adhering to the rules or regulations was questionable, but he shows up. He was a little bit late, but he made it.
Taking the Barnacle.
What did Pellet call it? Captain Black Hawk and the SS Movable Feast, which I thought was pretty solid.
Yeah, that was great.
And then the rest of the movie is just the regatta.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, they're sailing.
Yeah, Judge's sailing. I don't know if I agree with it, but I like it.
Yeah. Well, just to cut to the chase and not narrate 15 minutes of sailing. It's a race. They're doing racing. They get the edge, and what wins them the race is they get a little extra boost from Flying Jack's pants as an additional sail, which is what caused the judge to say what Paul just said, which is, I don't know if that's legal, but I love it. And then there's a slow-mo high five, and the movie's over.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
I mean, that's how we ended movies in the 80s.
That was
no
the
dicking around.
That was the official last words of the movies, by the way. I don't know if it's legal, but I like it.
I mean, there's some other things that happen along the way, but I suggest you watch it.
Yeah. We won't ruin this.
The play-by-play of the little things you don't need.
I totally agree, La-Mar. We would have to go step by step at this moment, just dialogue, quote by quote.
We're not going to do that.
I love this movie. I didn't say this earlier, but one of my favorite scenes, and I guess this is the premise of this movie, is John Belushi walked into or was renting out a summer home, and this kind of happened, and someone had an idea of this, and this became a movie.
Is that true? That's amazing.
That was the IMDb trivia. So again, as I always note, take it with a grain of salt.
Sure. I accept everything on IMDb as canon. So.
But one of my favorite movies is I told these guys earlier, is so the premise of the movie, the entire situation revolves around someone's like steps out of their summer home. They come home. There's a party going on. This happens to John Candy, and people are making omelets. And then they go into this other room, and this guy's like watching with the family dog is watching the Smurfs, and the guy's like, "Hey, get out of here, man! I'm watching the Smurfs." And my mom's favorite moment in all of this was in this entire film. My mom, a huge John Candy fan. I'm sorry. Well, said, "I love this moment." And it was like, "Hey, man, have you ever seen the episode of the Smurfs where the guy like kicks the shit out of the guy like playing Papa Smurf?" I was like, "Oh my god." And that was my mom's favorite moment of this weird situation. I know that sounds weird. Watch this movie. This weird guy's watching the Smurfs. Imagine you come home. I love this.
The dog's name is Archie.
I love Archie.
Oh,
Archie
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, we didn't even
Archie's
talk.
the kind of dog that I want.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't even talk about Archie locking John Candy out to watch a golf.
Yeah, he pulled a whole
situation.
Dino or Astro, or I guess they both did it.
Yeah,
just
probably
locked
both.
him out of the house and just gloated on it. Ate his popcorn, looked at him, smiled.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. So, what do you guys think of this movie?
Well, before we
Oh,
get
shit.
to okay. As always, reach out to us,
fucked it up, guys. I'm sorry.
podcast@gmail.com. If there's a movie you want us to review, if there's a movie you're like, these guys should talk about this and this is super weird, let us know. RabbitTroopSucks.com, our webpage. There's pictures, there's things, there's links. I don't know.
There's all kinds of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, go to our social media. Facebook, I guess we do sometimes, and Instagram is more often. Both we reach out to. Let us know. Things.
Yeah.
Things and stuff.
You know, Jeremy's been texting us throughout this whole episode.
That's amazing. What is he saying? He's like, I'm in the bush.
He said he's in full jerkin mode,
Oh, shit.
and he attached a GIF of someone. I believe it's a man masturbating, but I'm not entirely.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm not entirely sure. So
Well, if you want to get on super exclusive Rabbit Troop Sucks situations, then you're going to need to let us know
Yeah.
by Gmail.
That's Patreon territory.
did you know that Foster's beer is owned by the Japanese? Fun fact from Jeremy.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I wonder how he determined that he go to a bar and like,
It's
I
full
went off.
Oh, Yeah.
He walked in and he said it was full jerkin time.
And-
And people delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you found out the right
Jeremy,
or
I
wrong
miss
way.
you on this episode. And Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We talked heavily about you being a mall enthusiast, missing a mall movie.
Well, we've gone through how you could reach us. What do all of you think about this film?
No, now it's okay to say.
I'll start because it's nice and sweet, which is what this movie is. It goes down easy. It's a great summer movie. I'm glad you brought this up, Paul. We had a choice of summer named movies like Summer School, which is another movie directed by this gentleman, Carl Reiner. But we picked a better one because John Candy is just awesome.
Full. If I didn't note, it's his first full feature film.
Wow, did
Yeah.
not know that. This movie's good enough if you're just gonna put on something in the background, or if you're in the foreground, it's not going to disappoint you in any way whatsoever. Can't mention anything about the soundtrack or backgrounds or whatever. It's just a
It was the last guy doing the soundtrack.
Coconut Pete.
You should listen to Coconut
yeah,
Pete.
get them in there. Love this movie.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
Colin, is the first time you watching this, but also Colin joined us for volunteers. All real. I'm getting real life on this.
Oh God.
Colin, I love John Candy. And you've watched kind of some like weird films with him. Volunteers was the first. I know he was not the lead in this, but like watching this and then the third film we will clearly eventually do, which we kind of alluded to. Colin, what do you think about Summer Rental?
I liked it a lot. I kind of really like this movie just because I can kind of see all of the movies that I've seen growing up that clearly took some kind of inspiration from this movie. So like, in and of itself, it had a bunch of tropes that, it could have generated as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of flawless too in its execution, and it's got a pretty short runtime, a pretty tight script. The dialogue jokes played, and a lot of the non-dialogue jokes played also. It was just really well done and super funny.
Michael, what do you think about Summer Rental?
Yeah, I love this movie. I've seen it 8 billion times. I mean, I probably watched this movie when it first came out, and I don't know that we've watched it every summer, but like in the time that I've known you, it might be close.
Like every other.
Yeah, at least every other. Yeah. So I've seen this movie so many times. It never gets old. Colin's right. Like I think set the bar for a lot of these kind of 80s tropes. It's super funny. It's well acted. It's well written. There's not a lot of dead weight. This is going to sound weird. It's only an hour and a half, but it kind of feels longer because like the whole regatta part of it is just the last maybe third of the movie.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole movie that happens before the main plot of the movie kicks in. But that's not a fault. Like everything in this movie is good. It's nice and tight. I love it.
Felt like the main plot was a side part in the first half was like the main movie.
For sure, totally. Yeah.
But either way you look at it, yeah, I agree with you 100%
Yeah, like
on that.
the plot is like John Candy kind of getting his confidence back, which is why he's on vacation in the first place. And the race is just like the execution of that confidence, but it's not really what the movie's about.
Yeah. And I mean, and they totally even had a part during the race where you were for sure that they were going to lose. And he was, it was still going to be a happy ending, even though they lost.
Right.
Because, and then, so like just every kind of step of the way, it kind of, you knew everything was going to be okay, which was, a pretty nice way to kind of wrap up and a family movie like this.
Totally.
You should totally watch this. Coming up next, we have Tremors. Watch Tremors. Oh my God, have you not heard of Tremors? Watch Tremors.
Yeah, there's
1990.
8 of them now.
Yeah.
I'm shaking just thinking about this.
Oh, good movie.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Squid sticks.
This has been a fun episode with you, boy.
Don't
Fun
be a
movie,
squid
good.
stick.
Yeah, come on. And don't beat your dinghy.
Rabbit troop sucks.
Rabbit troop sucks.